My name is Lars from Trendlog. Today in this video I would like to show you how you can grab data from a universal robot like this one working, connect it to a Trendlog collector and send data to the cloud and make a dashboard similar of this one. First of all, we have to connect the Trendlog box with the universal robots. That is done over Ethernet, connecting either directly to the box or on the network. So the first thing we do is in the browser of the computer, we go to the Trendlog collector box interface to set up the box to start reading data from the universal interface. The Trendlog data collector does already support the UR interface, the PLOC, so we just add the new protocol to it and select the universal robots protocol from the drop down menu. Now we see here that we have a new protocol, so the first thing we have to do is to put in the IP address of the UR robot that we want to collect data from, and we want to select from its primary interface. That's done. So now we put up what kind of data we want to log from the robots, and you see here we have lots of different data structures to log from. So the first thing we want to have, the robot mode, is where the information about the program, that if the program is running or not, and so on. You see here all the different information from the robot mode data structure. Alright, so to test if everything works, we activate the settings and we get a success, so we restart the data logger and we want to see if we already have access with the robots. We see here the IP address and we are already connected now to the robots interface. So the next thing we have to do is to create a new STM state machine. We want to collect all the information from the universal robots into one STM, and we call that STM1 with the UR1. So now we create a variable for the run signal. So I get variable 1 and I write run here, and we connect that variable with the input and the data structure from the robot. So here we're choosing the program running, so every time the program is running, this signal will go high, the run signal will go up, and so now we just activate it and check it again and restart the data logger. So right now we should actually go into the monitor, and we can now monitor the UR1 STM and see that the run status is 1. Let's go to the universal interface and start the program to see if we can see the run signal go to 1 instead of yes. As you can see, the value goes to 1, which indicates that the robot is now running. Fine, let's stop it again and see if we go back to 0. And it goes back to 0. What a great success. Alright, the next thing we want to log now. We want to make sure that we can send the data, the run signal, directly to the Trendlog platform. So I go in and set up the live data and connect the run signal from the universal robots and put it in the live data. Again, when we've done a new thing, we activate the settings before the new settings is putting into effect. So now we want to create a feed in the platform, Trendlog platform, so that we can see that the data is sent directly to the platform. You go to trendlog.io website and you select the sign in button in the top menu to log in to the platform, and it will open up the default dashboard. Now we go to feeds, select the add button and put in the name of the feed that you want to create. In this case, the feed of the UR run signal. Right, it's created and it should be on the last page. See, here it is, the last feed name. So now we can go to our Trendlog monitor and see that the current value of the run signal is 1. Now we go to the UR1 interface and start the signals and see if the signal goes all the way to the Trendlog collector to the platform, and we see it does. Now it's 1. Next thing we want to do, we want to make a trend view where we can show the current value of the run signal. So we go in, we create a trend sign as I do here, and I write up here the UR1 state. I will now select the data feed that we just created from the drop down menu. Right here, UR1, fine. That's done, okay. And now from the selecting of the data, we will take the current value only. That's it. Now we see that the current value is 0. Let's see if that works. So we open up the trend view like this by double clicking. It will open up the trend view. And if we start the UR interface again, I will just move it to side so we can see that it starts. When I start the robot, immediately the trend sign goes to 1. If I stop it again, it will go to 0. Perfect. So now we would like to customize it a little bit so it's a little bit more obvious if the robot is started or not. Say, well, instead of 0 and 1, I will just return. If the value is 0, I will turn it so it says that it stopped, and if it's 1, it will be return a value of running or run. I do this here just by putting in this JavaScript code. Fine. Okay, and I also want to make it change. So when the value is 1 or below 1, the background should be red, and if it's above or 1, it should be green. Let's test it out. Fine, okay, now it stopped. Okay, let's save this, open up the display again, and we will test it by starting the robot. See, it shifted immediately. So this is the display is shown on the platform, and this is the robot that you start down there. So you see it's very, very quickly to create a trend view with the state information. Great, now I create a Trendbot. I want to put this one up and start creating a Trendbot for the UR1. It's created, and now I open up for editing it. Now I have a blank sheet. I'll open up a trend view, and in this one I will select the newly one that I just created here at the drop down menu. Okay, now it's there. It's actually done now. Okay, fine. I can open up the Trendbot like that. Now I have a Trendbot showing the state of the robot on the Trendbot. Let's see if it still works by running it. Okay, it's running, and the signal comes up on the Trendbot that the robot is running.